My name is Liz Glotty, and I will be discussing today a few topics that I have learned about in Business 101. I will be discussing how to start your own business, what that entails, as well as resource development, and then I will dip into the global market. So to start it off, I'm going to start with your own business, starting your own business, and this includes many different aspects. One of the things that you do is you have to be prepared. You have to make a business plan. You have to think about everything. You have to be, in order to begin a business, you have to, or to own a business, you have to be a very self-oriented, very driven, just you have to be a person who is not afraid to struggle, I would say. Be okay with a little bit of uncertainty. But you do have to have a definite self-direction and a drive in order to succeed, a want and a passion about what you're doing and the reason why you're doing it. Many people start small businesses because they want to be their own boss. They want to a little bit more independence. They don't want anybody over them. And, it involves a lot of risk in order to do that. Many small businesses, they don't succeed. And whether it's because they didn't have a proper business plan, they didn't plan everything out, something occurred that they didn't expect to happen and they don't know how to handle it. Certain things like financial planning, proper management, resource development, those are all things that need to play into your business. And if you don't, you might fail. Having an accountant, being able to properly do your taxes and, whether that's having somebody else do it for you or you doing it yourself, and or an attorney for any problems that may occur within your business. All of these things are very important. And, there's many small businesses, and, a lot of times people fail before they end up actually getting a business that succeeds. And, in order to prevent that, you'd have to, I guess, get a little experience behind your belt within the industry that you want to go in. You want to learn from other people. That is a huge one. You don't want to learn from somebody who doesn't actually even own their own business, or who's just started and, they're not sure if they're going to succeed. You want to do it from learn from somebody who has a small business or a large business. If you want to own a large business, if you want to be a huge entrepreneur, then that's fine, but you need to study the ways in which a business runs, the different intricate workings of what goes into a business, where businesses that have failed went wrong, and ways in which you can improve that. And this is all important, because if you need to start a small business and you don't have the resources that you need, or you don't, think of, oh, this problem may occur in the future, and then that problem actually happens, and you don't know how to handle it, that's just, you might come across a situation where you owe, a debt financially, and you have to use the money from your business or sell your business in order to pay off that debt. So your business fails. There's many different scenarios that I could talk about here, but since I am only on a limited time, I'm going to dip into resource development. This is also another very large piece within a business, whether it's small or large. Basically what you're doing is understanding what resources you have available to you, um, whether that's if you own them or they're around you and they're easy access, um, and then better ways to make use of those resources and really, really learn how to adapt to a situation within a business and use what you have in order to succeed. This also goes into, human resource development, for your employees or for you even specifically as an entrepreneur or a business owner. And, that entails education and knowledge, continued knowledge throughout the business. Do I have all the knowledge necessary for this job position? Does my employee understand what he's using? Does he understand that application on the computer in which he is supposed to type information into to keep our records? Another example of this would be, going into say a job in a production company, and you have to run a intricate machine that you've never used before. However, you are an engineer. Well, you're going to have somebody, a mentor, or somebody who is above you, who is experienced, kind of teach you how to use that machine. Even though you are an engineer and you know the basics of what goes on with the machine, you may not know just exactly how to run that machine and how to manufacture the products that you are supposed to use. So this is all in resource development. It makes your employees better. That's why it's important. Is it makes your employees better at their jobs, better at better comfortability for them specifically. Having sense of accomplishment for them to understand. Oh, this is my job and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I'm supposed to be doing it right because I learned. And also within resource development, there is, continued education as far as businesses go, and the business world is ever adapting. There's always new intricate things and developments, different things that play, and the market's always changing, and you need to have that knowledge of the new things that are going on in the business world. And also just plays into research development, as in keeping your employees and yourself up to date on all of the knowledge and information within the business world and what is going on. And then the next thing that I was going to dive into is the global market. The global market is basically trading around the globe, trading with other countries, and whether that's importing, exporting, outsourcing, all of these different things, and it's kind of, important because one place cannot specifically produce absolutely everything. Like the U.S., we have a lot of tobacco, and we give that to other countries. We export it to other countries, and not a lot of those other countries can produce those things. And just like China, they do a lot of our clothing and technology, and not only because they have those resources, but also a lot of times it's cheaper, which goes into the fact of the outsourcing aspect of the global market. And, a lot of times that when you contract your stuff out, that, it's cheaper. There are some pros and cons. It can be cheaper, and the products are still the same as what we would produce here in the U.S., but the cons of that would be, like the domestic jobs, the U.S. jobs would not, the unemployment rate would go down. There's not as many jobs here. People here might get pay cuts in order to keep a business from actually going to outsourcing. There's many different things that can play into this, and the whole free trade aspect, as well as there being pros, or there is the cons. And then these are important because when you have a business, you have to understand that just to keep your head above water, and in order to make a profit, pay your employees, and all of the different resources that you have to pay for, whether that's rent where you're at or whatever it is, that you are making a profit, and that your overhead is just, you're keeping your head above water. All of these things come into play because they're within starting your own business, resource development, and your global market, and they tie into each other, because if you, all of these things are something to be considered when you own your own business. Starting your own business, there's going to be resource development. You're going to have a strong self, a motivational drive like no other, and consider even going into the global market if you are going to be an entrepreneur of a large company. And then out of these topics, I think the most interesting to me was probably starting my own business, starting your own business, because I want to start my own business one day. I would like to own a place for a women's recovery center, at a faith-based one, and we will provide many things, but it's kind of scary thinking about it, thinking about all of the different things that go into a business, and I'm really happy that I'm learning about it now. And it's just very interesting because a lot of the things that I have thought that I knew about a business, I really had no idea. So I'm really, really interested in, learning more this semester. I want to gain some more knowledge about, I guess, the overall intricate workings of the general business. I understand, the basics now, but I guess just the basic structure, how I would go about starting my own business. I don't know if we learn about that in Business 101, but I would love to, understand the different intricate workings, and what plays into a business, how exactly I could start my own path on my own journey as far as a business goes, and be able to succeed and not fail like many businesses do. So I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope to learn a lot more this semester and gain a lot more knowledge as far as the business aspect goes this semester. So thank you.